You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Let me say that without the redneck in it. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And there's another phrase that doesn't seem related, but it really is. And it sounds like you can get a lot more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. Well, there's a caveat to both of those phrases, to both of them. And you need to know the caveat. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. The caveat to those two phrases: you can lead a horse to water. You can't force him to drink. I mean, if you just hold his head under water, eventually he might drink or drown, and you won't know the difference until it's over. But the truth is, along the way, you can make him mighty thirsty with salt licks and things like that. A good example of that in human marketing is you can lead a person to the bar, but you can't make them drink unless you put hot peanuts all around the bar or salty snacks all around the bar. And then they're going to drink twice as much, because if there's a bowl of peanuts there, they're going to be eating them. And then they're going to be thirsty, and then they're going to drink more. Yeah, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So make him thirsty along the way, and he'll drink on his own. That's a really good lesson in influence, not just from a marketing and advertising standpoint, but from a leadership standpoint. The scary truth is that other phrase that has a caveat, it has more frightening implications, and that is, it is easier to get flies with honey than with vinegar. But you know what attracts more flies than even honey? A pile of cow manure. Think about it for a minute. So there's a whole lot more attraction, sadly, to a bunch of BS than there is to the truth. That's just the way it works. Telling the truth often repels people. Telling the truth often ruffles their feathers a little bit. So I put 3 truths up there about leading others that I think you'll find to be evidential in your own life. That when you lead people, you've got to be very selective about who you invest in. Because like the horses that you lead to water, some just want to run through the mud puddle and drag you in with them. They got no interest in getting a drink, they just want to go for a swim. And because that's true, there are those who will look at you, no matter how good your leadership skills are, no matter how far you take them from where they were to where they want to be, they're going to eventually find some excuse for not succeeding, and you're going to be the one they blame. That's just the way it works. Every opportunity that you give them to transform, to change, to find some new way of doing things in their life, no, that's just another excuse why their failed success or their lack of success is your fault. Now, if they do find some means of success through the path that you've led them down, trust me, you won't get the credit for it, because they're so self-centered, they're just going to keep it themselves. They will always say, look what I did, look what I accomplished, look what I figured out. That's the who that they are. And until their mindset changes, it will look like the conditions around them are bad, that the people feeding into them are bad, that the opportunities that they had were bad, that everything about their life is situationally horrible. But the truth is, the problem they're dealing with isn't their circumstances, their situation, or their surroundings, or even the people feeding into them. It's what's going on inside their head. It's the thought processes that they choose every day. And finally, there is some truth to the fact that the 20%, those that you pour into, that honestly you'll look back and go, wow, I mean, yes, I invested in them. Yes, I poured into them, but they've gone so much further than I could have predicted, so much more than even I knew how to invest in them. They've done so much more than I've done. Truth is, they probably had a lot of that going on already, because they are the type who want to be influenced. They are the type who are seeking opportunity. They are the type who are seeking leadership influence. And what they needed from you was a little bit of believe in me. They needed you to say, you can do this. You've got this. Because what's going on in their head is already moving in the right direction. They needed someone else to come along and just prosper them, to give them a little shove. And if you will selectively choose who you lead in that way, that you seek out the people who are in that 20% already. They're the ones who already have a pretty good notion of where they need to be and what they need to change and transform in their life. They just need somebody to give them a little pat on the back and a little word of wisdom from time to time and a lot of believe in me. And you will see dramatic change in their life and in your own confidence as a leader. So take some time. Ask some of those litmus-styled questions. What would you change if you knew that one change would change everything in your life? People who aren't willing to make any transformation of their own life, they don't have an answer for that question because they want you to give it to them so that they can hold you accountable when it doesn't work. Don't go there. Lead those who want to be led, those who are ready to transform and change. You'll see greater results in your own leadership and greater confidence in your own life. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.